All right, so this will be my third recording because every single one of them got greased up. So I made a dream pop song. I think the original idea behind this really was from when I bought this thing called Digitalis. Basically, I saw a YouTube video. Someone recommended this plugin right here, and they're like, if you want to sound like break-ins, if you want to sound like brackets, then you use this plugin because it's all glitchy. And I'm like, oh, this sounds sick. So I bought it, and I also bought their plugin Tectonic, and it came with this plugin Lo-Fi Oddity, which I also use sometimes. Tectonic is really cool. I went to their homepage and I scrolled down. I'm like, holy shit, it's just two indie developers who make all this, and it's this dude named Ben and Dan. And I was like, what does their music sound like? There's a song right here called Raspberry Knees, and I listened to like the first 5 seconds. Based on those first 5 seconds, you can kind of tell already what this is. They're like, oh, we make a dream pop. We're from New York. And I'm like, okay, that's pretty sick. That sounds really cool. It reminds me of a Beacon School. He has some pretty cool albums. We should check all of them out. He basically does these loops and he coats everything in reverb. Nice and loopy and lush. I was in voice chat with my friends. I'm like, I want to make something cool today. I open up Archetype Pliny X, the best plugin of all time. I boot it up and I come up with this chord progression. This chord progression, I kind of just like made up on my own and call in like 15 minutes, but it's actually really nice. I guess it's like a C major. I don't know the exact names of them. It's like a... It's a C, like a C major. That is sharped. So it sounds like... I don't know, I think it's a B over C. Because... And then I play that chord progression, and then I'm like, okay, that's in C major. I don't really like C major. I'm always like, oh my god, it sounds like a Disney movie. It sounds so weird. It sounds like, it sounds too happy. But honestly, I remember my jazz teacher saying, if you find something in a key, if you like come up with a melody or chord progression in a key, you should stay in that key. It also sounds really cool, and honestly, I should trust my ears more than I should trust my own head. And as you can see, this took 50 takes. I don't want to quantize it that much. I hate quantizing like guitar takes because I just feel like it doesn't sound human. I come up with this, okay, and then I slap on some EQ. I'm just removing the low end, making room for this little bass patch that I have. And then I'm removing some of the high end, just not to make the distortion a little bit harsh. Oh yeah, I forgot about the tone. The clean amp in Archetype Pliny with drive and compression, I adjusted literally nothing. It's just that. Also, by the way, there's reverb and there's even more reverb because I route all of this to a return track, which is just Valhalla Vintage Verb, but literally default Valhalla Vintage Verb. Yeah, as you can see, like most of the stuff is just that. I don't want like a zillion Valhalla Vintage Verbs on like every single track. I feel like if it's all on the same return track, it sounds a little neater. But again, I don't know how to make music at all, so like we have that. It's all spacey. I put that EQ in there. Oh, and also my secret sauce right here. There's this free plugin, Talcourse LX. This thing is so nice. It's basically that one Juno course plugin, except I don't have to pay like $100 for it. So it makes it sound nice and wide. Like, also that kind of made me remove the need to do double takes because I hate doing that. I'm just lazy as hell. This sounds wide enough. I'm not double panning this guitar. I don't want to. And then I put them right into my bass line. This is a serum patch that I made called Juno Smooth. It's literally just Juno under basic shapes with a little bit of bend and a crazy low pass filter. I just kind of removed the low pass filter a little bit so there's a little bit more higher frequencies, so it cuts through the mix a little bit more. But we got this for the bass line. So then both of those together sound like this. Yeah, and now I'm like, okay, now I kind of want a melody. You know what would sound good? Like a... or something like that. So I come up with this right here. And what all this is, if we just remove all this bullshit, I just turn on Archetype Pliny's, their lead amp right here. This thing just sounds like this. And then on top of this, I slap on some Pro Q3. I'm just removing this like low rumble for the bass to make room for it, I guess. And then digitalis, which I add this right here. I don't know, this like kind of like removes some frequencies as it like scans along the image, but I do it really quickly, so it sounds like it's pulsing. So if we just have this section on, it just sounds like. And on top of this, we have this pitch section, or I turn it 12 semitones down. I turn quantization all the way up, so it like has this nice auto-tune sound effect, and I turn the mix down so that there's like this really cool like octave effect. And then on top of that, I add corruption, which fucks with the audio and makes it sound like crazy. You know I gotta use digitalis everywhere. There's also auto pan. Makes it sound like it's floating. And then on top of this, I have percussion, which I really just got Addictive Drum just for this. I have the Fair Fox Volume 2 Clean Black Beauty, and it has that tom, that tom, that tom, that tom, that kick, snare, hi-hat, flexi 1, and then we got all these cymbals. I'm not a percussionist at all. It's just an acoustic drum set that sounds semi-realistic, and that's all I needed. So this is the clean channel. And on top of this, I just put Saturn 2 for some saturation. And then some Serum, because I need their OTT compressor. So that's a drum loop that I just kind of penciled in. I really just took like 15 minutes trying to look for this kick, because I had no idea that the kick was on C1. Eventually I found it, and then I just kind of felt around in the dark until I got something that sounded remotely good. It sounds like a drum loop, I guess. I just randomized my velocity down here and then compressed it so it sounded uniform and kind of human sounding, I guess. So then all that together, we got this. So then on top of that, there's just a drop, which is just me automating digitalis packet loss right here. It goes up and then it drops. It just sounds like this. So that drop is just purity. It's literally just a piano with some Valhalla shimmer on it. So this is just a... Oh my God. I wish that my MIDI wasn't broken, but it broke, and then Arturia won't let me return it.
And I can't turn it on.
Anyways, it's literally just... It just descends down the scale 3 notes, and then it repeats itself. So like a... It's all nice and loud. And then Addictive Drums 2 gets a little revamp. So I use a cymbal right here to crash. I barely use cymbals. I just don't know how to use a drum set. That is the first hit, and it's really loud in my headphones right now, but we get them with the... It's just a lot more syncopated, and then this is the same drum sample as before twice, and then the same thing again. It just repeats like that until the end, where I just have a little drum fill right here. I actually really like this drum fill. It's just triplets, but triplets are always good. It's nice and loud because of the saturation. And that's pretty much it. This is what I have to deal with. The fire alarm went off again. Oh my God. I don't like that at all. I'm gonna go to bed now. Good night.